Joining me in the huddle today on ASTV is Mr. Bill Johnson, Executive Director, Football Manitoba. Bill, were you enjoying the snow shoveling this morning?
It was a nasty surprise. I thought we were spring and getting ready for outdoor football, and no, we're going back inside for a while, I think.
Speaking of going back inside, we've got flag football registration going on right now. That's going to happen outside, though, correct?
It is, yeah. So that's in May and June. The registration is open, as you said. We're expecting about 1,500 kids in that league. We partner with the Bombers on it. It's a Blue Bombers Futures Flag Football League, and it's great. It's an awesome sport.
That flag football program has grown every year it's been offered, correct? So It's something that we're seeing not just from, obviously the ages as they get older, they're continuing with the sport, but we're seeing the younger kids now get involved even more so and liking the program and continuing year by year by year.
It's actually interesting because we've seen the evolution of flag football now. It started off, it's a recreation sport. It's what people did. We have a lot of tackle players who use it as their off-season training. But now we're seeing a whole generation of kids who only want to play flag football. That's their game. And they go on and they play until they're 17. Then they go on and there's adult leagues in the city here that they play in. Some of them go on to play on our national teams and things like that, go to world championships. And they're petitioning, IFAF, which is the International Federation for American Football, is actually petitioning to get flag football into the Olympics. So it's kind of a cool thing.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. It was just like a casual Monday night thing you would do with the boys in the backyard or at the field. And now it's like an organized program. And I know you and I have talked about this in previous episodes, Bill. It's also about teams that, let's say a lacrosse team gets together and they decide to put their own flag football team in there as a part of a conditioning stint or a cross training, because it's a similar sport. A lot of the dodging and the moving and the cutting, and you need that in lacrosse or whatever other field sport there is.
We see it with tons of them. We see even basketball teams. We see volleyball teams. We had last year we had 4 or 5 ringette teams who came in and wanted to play in flag. It's a great chance for teammates to be together. It's an affordable way to spend some extra time together playing, competing together, and it's fun. It's a great game. People who play flag football love it. So.
It's a fun sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really is.
Do you see people writing things on the flags at all, or is it just generic colors?
No, it's got our Football Manitoba logo on there, and there's no tampering with that. So
that's it. That's all. I remember my flag always said, "You can only hope to contain me," but that was back when I was able to spin move like number 20 for the Lions. We'll leave it like that. Flag football registration is open right now. It's on the Football Manitoba.
Flagmanitoba.com.
Okay. Yeah. Flagmanitoba.com has all that information. So do get out there, register before there's no spots available, because it is a hot commodity when it comes to springtime. I know there's snow on the ground, but I think it's one of those things you should be able to get into before you upset your little one, either son or daughter that wants to play, right?
Yeah, it's hard to get your head around the fact that we're going to be outside in a couple months in this city, but we will. Trust me, we will.
How many fields are involved in the flag? Is it a Winnipeg-based program, or is it like there's fields all over Winnipeg, or is it just one major center that they play out of?
That's actually a great question. One of our focuses is actually expanding the game outside of the city of Winnipeg. So we use several of our tackle football club fields. So they'll play in Fort Garry, or they'll play at Valor, they'll play at the North Winnipeg field, things like that. And the games move around depending. We do it because in the spring the fields are a little wet. We try and save some wear and tear on them doing that. But this year we actually there's a league starting in Steinbach that we're backing, so the Eastman Flag Football League, and you can register for that one on our website as well. There's a league in Brandon that's been around for a couple of years now, run by their tackle group out there, and there's a league in Thunder Bay that we actually oversee as well. I got a call yesterday, actually talking to a guy from Sioux Lookout who's looking to start a flag league out there. It's a sport that it's awesome because a small community, if you have 20 kids, you can have a flag football league. You need 5 kids on the field for a team, so it's a cool thing. Absolutely.
Now is it the full size of a normal football field, or is it a half size that they play flag on?
It's a smaller field. Okay. Yeah, you can fit 5 flag football fields on one Canadian tackle field, which is enormous.
So remember, that's 110 yards long by how many? 85 wide? 65 wide? Okay, just for you Americans catching the show in the program today. I know the CFL field is bigger and our balls are bigger as well. So let's go to tackle football now. Mm-hmm. Registration's coming up.
Yeah, it is. Registration's opening at clubs throughout the next couple months. You'll see the big registration weekend is coming up soon, when they'll be really pushing for that with MGFA, which is our girls league, is opening right now. It's a spring league, so they're open and ready for registration with that league now. MMFA will be opening in the next couple of weeks, and it's this time of year is exciting because we have so many different programs going on, and people are excited about tackle football.
For these programs, just for someone that's new to the program, what type of supplies or equipment do they need to bring? Is it the same for every association or every team, or is it different for each one? Like, what are the bare necessities a player needs to bring to the game?
It's kind of a cool thing, not to slam our friends at hockey, but it's a little bit different because if you show up at a football field and you have a pair of cleats or a good pair of runners, you're pretty much good to go. Everything else is provided by the club. Shoulder pads, helmet, mouth guard, pants, everything is provided right there. And to be honest, if you don't have a great pair of cleats, contact the club. They can probably recycle a pair from someone else for you and you're good to go.
You have no reason now not to try either flag or tackle football.
That's
right.
Fantastic.
And inclusion is probably the most important thing for younger athletes to, if they want to try something, absolutely go out and try it. The worst thing you're going to say is, no, I don't like it, right?
Well, that's the coolest thing with tackle football, in my opinion. It's the ultimate team sport. You go to one of our MMFA games, you'll have boys and girls playing side by side. You'll have big kids and small kids. You'll have fast kids and slow kids, and they're all out there together. And everyone has a job. You can't just stand around and watch. You got a job to do, and if you don't do it, your team can't be successable. So it really is the ultimate example of team.
Example of team, strongest chain. Always that chain. I always use that chain thing. You're always strong as the weakest link, right? But the thing is, you learn how to play with a team. You learn how to play with your comrades. And most importantly, you're having fun doing it.
That's right.
I remember playing 7-8-year-old football back in the day. You probably remember those days too.
Barely, but a long time ago.
the trophies, the name bars on the back of the jersey, and just a lot of fun for these kids.
Yeah.
So go out and try it. Flags going on, registration right now. Tackles starting up very soon. We also have some important dates coming up in August, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
The U16s, we finally got those dates to us.
August long weekend, we will be hosting the U16 Western Canadian Flag Championships. We have 2 sites booked right now, U of M and U of W. We're not sure where exactly those games will be taking place as of right now, but it'll be over that weekend. It'll be the best players at 14 and 15 years old in Western Canada playing. I got the chance to go. My daughter played the last couple of years at the U16 level, and it really opened my eyes to the level of play that these kids they're athletes, and it's awesome to watch.
So how does that team now, is Manitoba going to have a team or teams?
Yeah. Football Manitoba, it's a bit confusing. Football Manitoba will have 2 teams. We'll have one representing Winnipeg and one representing Thunder Bay, which of course is under our governance with Football Manitoba. So it's kind of exciting. We'll have 2 in the boys and 2 in the girls division. So it'll be kind of a cool thing. And we're expecting each of the provinces will have 2 teams in each division. So it'll be a 10-team tournament. It'll be
awesome.
It'll be good.
In Western Canada, dominance will be occurring at August long here in Winnipeg. That looks like a pretty exciting weekend.
Yeah, it's cool. The high performance flag, which is the provincial team, a lot of people don't know it exists in that opportunity, and we've actually, the last 2 years, we've medaled in every single category, every single age category, both genders, every single age category. So we're pretty successful at it, and I hope more people give it a try. Like I said before, flag football is an awesome sport, and to get the chance to play it at the highest level, it's a pretty cool experience.
We've had some pretty good teams and pretty good players come through Manitoba flag-wise.
For sure.
I mean, ex-Bombers have played, correct? And we've had some university players that have played at the highest level and traveling globally to play. It's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, we just had 4 players from Manitoba named to the Canadian national team for flag football on the men's side. Unfortunately, they just canceled the World Championships due to the coronavirus scare. But it's a cool thing that we're getting recognized and our players are getting named to that. So it's postponed, and hopefully they'll get a chance to represent their country very soon.
Let's hope they get to do that as well. That'd be pretty impressive. So we've got a little bit of March Madness happening basketball-wise. We've got some tagging of players happening in the NFL. Have you been impressed with how the Bombers have put together their team for the upcoming season?
They did a good job hanging on to. It's a hard thing to. Winning is hard. Winning again is even harder. And I think they've done a good job hanging on to the players that they targeted. They knew they needed to keep. They lost a couple guys. I mean, a guy like Chris Strevler got a great opportunity. Good for him. That's awesome. But I think they did a really nice job hanging on to a bunch of the guys they needed to do. And that team will be almost intact from the end of last year.
It's a little bit longer of a season. It's 3 bye weeks this year. We've got one in week 2. But like you said, the keys to that team, I think all but one of the offensive starters from the Grey Cup is back next year, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that was quite an offensive show. It was so exciting because they peaked in the playoffs and carried it right through to the Grey Cup. And it's kind of cool to think that they can carry that forward and keep going right where they were.
So snow will be gone. They'll be practicing probably late April, early May, right? And they'll have to get their season going on. So exciting things going on with the pigskins and the footballs and the helmets and the crashes and the bangs and the flags. So don't forget about the flags. If you're looking to get out there, please do try it out. It's a pretty amazing sport, and it's very fast. I noticed the flag game is very fast, so it keeps you on your toes. Inside the Huddle with Bill Johnson. Thanks for joining me, Bill, and we'll talk to you next month.
Perfect. Thanks very much.